Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel where today we're going to be talking about authors I have given up on. So generally speaking, I do like to give authors multiple chances with different books because, maybe the first one just wasn't my particular style, or maybe they've improved their craft since then. And so I do like to give multiple chances. However, all of these authors have been given multiple chances, and I've decided they are just not for me. Now, we are actually going to talk about two different groups of authors. The very first one is ones that I have definitely given up on, and the other is a list of four authors that I haven't quite given up on them, but it's not looking good. Now, all of these are authors where I have actually given them a chance, and I have given up on them for reasons having to do with the quality of the books that they are putting out. So let's go ahead and jump right in with the first one, and that is Charlaine Harris. So I very definitely was very into urban fantasy for quite a while. And Charlaine Harris is just all over that particular genre. And I have actually read the vast majority, if not all, of the series that Charlaine Harris has put out. And all of them are not good for varying reasons, but the real clincher was the Sookie Stackhouse series. And really, it was a 14-ish book series that declined in quality after like book 4, which is so bad. But I kept going because I kept thinking like it's gonna get better. And then it never did. The ending was so rushed. It was like whiplash, and it just was not at all believable. And with that last book, that's the point where I said, yeah, I'm just so done with this. None of the series have been amazing. And like the one series that I truly followed through to the end, it ended so badly. So I have just given up on all of Charlaine Harris's work. The next one is Sarah J. Maas. Now, this is sad because even though I know the writing style doesn't work for a lot of people, it works really, really well for me. I found it to be very, very easy to read. But my problem was that everything else was not good. So, like, the world building just has a lot of holes in it. The character development has holes in it. Not the character, like, decisions don't necessarily make sense. It doesn't follow, like, a logical pattern, which is not good. And so it's like everything is it needs some help. Now, I have read 2 of her 3 series. So I read the first 3 books in the Throne of Glass series and the first book in the Court of Thorns and Roses series. And like I went back to reread both of those series and ended up DNFing them because that's how bad the quality of this stuff was. It just so badly did not work for me, to the point where I'm not even interested in trying that 3rd series that she has started. The next person on this list is another really sad one for me, and that is Tamara Pierce. So Tamara Pierce, a lot of us kind of grew up on her her series, and I was no exception. And unfortunately, one of the series that she did ended in such a way that it made me so angry that I had absolutely no desire to pick up any of the new stuff that she had written. Like, I just didn't trust her as an author anymore. It's the Becca Cooper series if you're interested. But basically, it ended so badly, and like, it was a quality of writing kind of thing. I needed to trust the author, and I don't think she executed it very well. And so I just don't trust her anymore. But even worse is that, like, that kind of also broke I was enamored with this author. I thought she could do no wrong, and that was definitely broken by this series as well. And so when I went back to reread some of the earlier works that she had done, I didn't like those either, which is really, it's so sad. So there's like, I think two and a half of the series remaining that I still like, which out of a lot of, she's written a number of series, and yeah, that's just not good. And like I said, because I don't trust her as an author anymore, I just have absolutely no desire to pick up any of the new books that she has written. And then lastly is Christopher Paolini. Now, he hasn't written a ton, but whatever else he's written besides Inheritance Cycle, I have no desire to pick it up. So I have been reading the Inheritance Cycle series as of late, and just the quality of the writing is so bad. It's so badly needed to be edited. And I understand that other people really like to have a ton of details about things, but at the same time, I think the timing of a lot of those details is just absolutely wrong. There is no fast paced battles because we spend so much time on things that don't matter. Anyway, quality of writing is an issue. And so these books end up being far too long, and just the pace of it is extremely slow. And so after this, I don't think I'm ever going to read a Christopher Paolini book. And I know he just came out with like an adult science fiction story, and I saw that it was 800 pages long, and it was like, yes, he's still doing the same things. So I'm not going to be missing out on much. So those are the four authors I have definitely given up on. So next we're going to talk about the four authors that I'm trying to figure it out. They've still got a couple shots, but it's not looking good for them. And the first one is Brandon Sanderson, which probably isn't a huge surprise. So I have read 3 of Brandon Sanderson's works. The first being The Emperor's Soul, which is actually a novella, and I read it so long ago that I don't actually remember anything about it, other than I really liked it. I attempted to read Steelheart, DNF'd that, and I've read The Final Empire, which I actually really didn't like. So, with Brandon Sanderson, the plan is to try 2 more books. The first being Warbreaker, and the second being Snapshot, because Warbreaker is in Cosmere, but it's fairly standalone-ish, and so I can figure out if I even have a shot at liking Cosmere. And with Snapshot, that's actually a novella that is outside of the Cosmere universe, and it's like, if I don't even like that one, I'm probably not going to like any of Brandon Sanderson's work, and I can just give up on him. After that, we have Neil Gaiman, and this is very much one where it's I recognize the quality of Neil Gaiman's writing. It's just he doesn't write things that are for me. So I have read 3 of his books, the first being Stardust, which I read so long ago, and I remember it being about a 3.5-star read for me. I've also read The Ocean at the End of the Lane, which was extremely well written, and I completely understood why other people really like it, and I just didn't. It was, again, just not for me. And then the last thing that I have read from Neil Gaiman is the majority of the Sandman comics. And this is one where I recognize the quality of the writing, but a lot of the stuff was just kind of over my head, and I didn't really enjoy it. So with him, I'm still trying, and I am going to try 2 more books. The first one being Neverwhere, and the second one being, I don't know. I don't remember. So there is a book, one of Neil Gaiman's books, that my spouse said, I think if you like any of Neil Gaiman's books, it's going to be this one. And he said either American Gods or Good Omens, and I don't remember which one it is. But that's the other one that I will read. And again, if I don't like either of these books, then I will feel very comfortable just giving up on Neil Gaiman. And then author number 3 is John Scalzi. Um, I really want to like John Scalzi because I really like his online presence and the opinion and nonfiction pieces that he puts out. But I'm finding his fiction works to be a little bit more hit or miss. So I really did like Lock In and Head On, but I also read Red Shirts, which is a Star Trek satire that did not work for me at all. And then I also tried Fuzzy Nation, which I actually ended up DNFing. So with him, he also gets 2 more books, and I'm going to try to read the more popular, like mainstream kind of series. And that's the first one being The Collapsing Empire, and the second one being Old Man's War. And again, if I don't like these, the ones that are like the most popular, then probably John Scalzi is not the author for me. And then the last one is actually Alyssa Cole, which may surprise some people because I started reading Alyssa Cole earlier this year and I really liked the first novella from her that I read, The AI Who Loved Me. However, I do think that it was a really, really good story. However, it was not a good romance, which it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be a romance novella, and it didn't really do the romance thing very well. I also read another romance novella from her later that same month, and it also it was this one because it was pretty much only a romance. It just overall didn't work because the romance in this also didn't work. For the same reasons, actually. It was that we were missing the parts of the emotional connections that you actually need to see for a romance. So, the first novella I actually really liked because there was a lot going on besides the romance to carry the story, and I found it really interesting. The second one, not so much because there was literally nothing other than the romance, and it didn't work. So with her, also she gets to have 2 books, and I will choose full-length novels. A Princess in Theory and Radio Silence, I believe, is the first book in the Off the Grid series. But both of those I will try and see how they work. I know a lot of people really like A Princess in Theory, so we shall see. But that is it. Those are some of the authors I've given up on, some of the ones that I'm trying to figure out if they are authors for me or not. But leave me comments down below. Let me know what you think of my choices. Are there authors you have given up on, especially for the quality of their writing? Let me know down below. But that is all I have. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And until next time, have happy reading, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!